Dominic is a Ravens fan, so Dom, what do you think now with all these moves the Ravens have done? They got the Lamar Jackson extension, they brought in OBJ, they brought in Zay Flowers, new OC. Talk about, with all these moves, what you think the outlook is for the Ravens, and then anything that concerns you.
First and foremost, I am just so excited they paid my quarterback.
100%.
That whole saga was just so stressful, and I had so many things up in the air.
I felt that the last time you were here. Yeah, a lot up in the air.
All of that uncertainty, but having Lamar back, having a lot of the offseason to work with the new offensive coordinator, I think I'm really excited. I know that there was like a big belief that Greg Roman was enabling Lamar to make plays, but at a certain point in time, he kind of outgrew that offense. I mean, it definitely highlighted.
It was like training wheels up a
yeah,
bike,
exactly.
Right?
And I'm really looking forward to just opening the offense up a little bit more. I'm not necessarily expecting this to look like some of Monken's old offenses, like in Tampa Bay, where Jameis was throwing the ball up millions of times for 5,000 yards. I think that we have the capability to do more than we've been doing previously. I think OBJ is a great addition. I think Aguilar being able to take the top off. But I think the two people I'm most excited to see is a healthy Rashad Bateman, because I'm all in on Bateman. I think he has the ability to be wide receiver one.
He's shown flashes, definitely.
Yeah, he just needs to stay healthy.
Absolutely.
And some of that isn't his fault. He can't necessarily control his health, but I want to see him stay healthy, and I really am excited for Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Like in the preseason, he's just been electric.
It's time to bloom, as they say.
Yeah,
right?
they got Lamar his flowers. They gave Lamar his flowers.
That's right.
We've seen a lot of those clips from practices with the one-on-ones, but even in the games, with the most recent game against the Commanders, just put the ball in his hands, he's going to make a play. He's just electric.
Yeah.
And while I do want to take a lot more deep shots and have a lot more explosives, I think putting the ball in our playmakers' hands in more advantageous situations is going to really take us to the next level. I think we're at this point where it's no more excuses, right?
Right. It's put up or shut up time. I mean, the Chiefs have been there. They've been a thorn in the Ravens side for the last 4 or 5 seasons. It's been like Lamar, Mahomes head-to-head. Now Lamar has been out for a couple of years, so they haven't had that head-to-head. But I feel like this is the most talented team Lamar has had to go up against Patrick Mahomes. I've always said, like, switch to 2 and see what happens in 2018, 2019. I think you would see a difference there for sure. Lamar would be successful and add that running capability as well. They have so many things now where, like you said, you don't have to be explosive and drive the ball down the field. You can nickel and dime a defense, dominate time of possession, and still exhaust the team's defense doing that. So I like what they do there.
Yeah, I think it's funny as a Ravens fan to not be concerned about the offense and be more concerned about the defense, when historically defense has been rock solid. And I will even say, through all that offensive talk, we didn't even mention Mark Andrews, right?
Yeah.
We didn't even mention J.K. Dobbins, and I think that speaks to how big of a leap we've taken. But defensively, kind of wavered back and forth between two things. That one of them is more of a hole, and one of them is more of a room for growth. Because when we look at our pass rush for a while has been something that a lot of fans have been clamoring for. I think the phrase I used last time was like, we got a lot of low spades, where we got a lot of guys that can make plays, but nobody that we can count on when the chips are down to step up. We're really looking forward to Ojabo and Owe taking that next step to becoming that guy.
It's a big step. I mean, Ojabo is coming off of Achilles, right? So that's a lot of pressure for somebody who was like a red shirt rookie year, to now being, hey, like, be this elite pass rusher that you used to be, but also coming back from an Achilles injury. Definitely, you talked about in a pre-production meeting also about the secondary as well, a guy to go alongside Marlon Humphrey. They've had some turnover there. They brought in Ronald Darby, now pretty solid signing, but not somebody that really scares you on the opposite side of Marlon Humphrey. What do you think about that?
Yeah, because depth has always been an issue. Outside of the pass rush, the next thing people always went through was corner depth. Where we have Humphrey and we were comfortable with Humphrey, and we had Rock Ya-Sin signed, and it was like, okay, we got our 2 guys, but who's playing the nickel and who else can we count on? Because we don't want to have them guys out there 100% of the plays all the time, because they're going to need breathers and there's going to be injuries. We've just been decimated by injuries so many years in a row, and lo and behold, injuries will pop back up. Humphrey's currently dealing with the foot issue that's going to leave him out for a couple weeks. Rock Ya-Sin is working his way back. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. Jalen Armour-Davis, like the list goes on. Even Darby, who we signed, is coming off of the ACL. I think, you know, and you don't want to invest too much in the things that you hear on things like Ravens Twitter, because fans always want it to look like a Madden franchise where you can just make the trades look however you want. You hear names floating around like Jair Alexander because he's friends with Lamar, and I don't know where they're getting that information.
It's hard to like see like who's not friends with Lamar either.
Yeah,
right? So that's gonna be a pretty long list.
Cool with. But outside of, you know, having another stud on the other side, I don't think we need, you know, 2 Pro Bowlers. I just think we need stability. I can personally feel comfortable going out week 1 and saying, hey, you're going up against the starting wide receivers for an entire game.
Thankfully, it's just the Texans week 1. That's a relief.
But...
You don't have to rush back those outside corners for sure. But I mean, the AFC, we're gonna dive into this a little bit later, but it is truly scary for a lot of the wide receiving talent on the outside. It's a thing too that the Ravens are gonna have to work on throughout the season, but they're gonna be tested nonetheless when it comes to the postseason.